Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 books of 2025. So I have two honorable mentions, which are the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes and the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. I love both of them, but they did not make it into my top 10, but I wanted to mention them because I think they're also really good. So now getting into the actual top 10. So these are my favorite reads of 2025. Number 10 is Redeemed by Lauren Asher. This is the fourth book in the Dirty Air series by her. This is a romance series. I didn't love the first three, and then this one I loved. I gave it 4.5 stars. This is the story of Santiago and Chloe, and Santiago is the brother of the first book's FMC. So we know him already throughout the whole series, and then finally we now got his book. This is a Formula One romance. I feel like they just really got each other, and they knew what the other person needed in certain moments, and I thought that was really special, and I really love that about their relationship. And also I love the disability wrap because Santiago has a prosthetic leg. I loved reading about that, like how he feels and trying to understand that better, but also how it affects other people in his life and how he feels towards that and how they feel towards him. And I love like the ending, how it wrapped up the series, and how we did get to see like the other characters in the series. So I just really like this book, and I would highly recommend, if you don't like the first three books, keep going because this one is the best, or just read this one because they are interconnected standalones. Next book is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. So I read Bride last year, and it was my top 3 favorite book of 2024. I was really excited for Mate to come out this year. I'm happy to say that it did not disappoint. I love this book. This FMC is the first book's FMC, so Misery's best friend. So we already knew her in the first one, but this is her book, her story. And the MMC is aware, so our FMC is half were, half human. Follow her story and what that means. And the MMC, I really did like him. Like grumpy, broody, but he really cared about her. And I just really liked their story, how they both wanted the best for each other, and I loved how it wrapped up. And I loved seeing Misery and Lo also in this book from Bride, from the first book. And overall, I just really liked their story, and I hope Ali Hazelwood keeps writing in this world because I think this is my favorite like set of books from her. Oh, and I gave this 4.5 stars as well. So next is number 8, yes, 8, and that is Final Offer, also by Lauren Asher. We talked about it before with Redeemed. And this is the third and final book in the Dreamland Billionaire series of hers. I love this one. I was really anticipating Callahan's book because I think he was my favorite throughout the first 2 books. I liked the first book at the time. Don't think I would love it now. Loved the second book, would still love it. But I think I would have to reread the second one, but I think this one is my favorite. I gave it 4.75 stars because I'm nitpicky like that. But I love their story. So this is Cal and Alana, and this is single mom, kind of. And I loved Alana's like kid in this book. I think she was so cute, and her and Callahan, their dynamic, I loved it. I thought they were so cute. I really enjoyed their relationship dynamic. It's Second Chance. I really love this book. So like I said, 4.75 stars. The next book in my top 10 is Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. If you would have told me there's a Twisted series book in my top 10, if you told me that last year, I would not have believed you, but here we are. So I read the first book in the series and I hated it. Liked the second one the first time. When I reread it, I liked it a lot more, gave it 4.5 stars. Then the third one I also didn't really like, that's Twisted Hate. I give it 3 stars. I didn't really love the relationship. I don't know, I didn't really care for either of the characters either, so I just didn't really like that one. But then Christian Harper showed up. I love this man. This is now one of my top book boyfriends. Like, I love him so much. He was grumpy, broody, possessive, obsessive, all of it. He would do anything for her. I hate everyone in the world but you. Like, I love this man. He was pathetic and I loved it. I loved him and Stella together. I think they just really made it work, and they communicate. I felt, especially him, like he communicated really well. Like, this is what I think, this is what I feel, that's it. Like, and I loved that. It was so refreshing to read that. And I love them, and I initially give this 5 stars, but looking back and I was like, I don't think it is, so I give it 4.5, 4.75. But I do really love this, and I'm glad I finished this series now. The next book is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I have read an Emily Henry book every year for years now, and this year it was Book Lovers, and I really loved this book. I loved Charlie and Nora. I loved their dynamic, and I loved how Nora was kind of different than your typical FMC. Like, she was just different, and it just felt really refreshing to read from her perspective. And I love Charlie. I could really see myself in Charlie in just different aspects and personality traits that he had, and I really loved him. And again, their communication I really enjoyed. I love Emily Henry, her writing style. Like, I have never read a book from her that wasn't 5 stars, I think. No, they have all been 5 stars. This isn't my favorite so far, but it is still a 5 star. Like, I still love it, and I will think about them very fondly. But I think either Beach Read or Happy Place is my favorite, and then this one. Before We Meet on Vacation is my least favorite, and I still have to read Funny Story and Great Big Beautiful Life. So that's my little Emily Henry ranking, but I love her writing. I did also annotate this. I just loved this book. So now we are getting into my top 5 favorite books of this year, and the top 5 I actually can't tell you because I read it on my Kindle, because I don't think it's out yet. It's being traditionally published and it's not yet released, but this has been all over the internet. Every time I open TikTok, this is the only thing I see, and it is Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. Also, the show is amazing, but I watched the first 4 episodes of the show and I was like, I need to read this book immediately, and I read it in 2 days. So do what you want with that. I love this book. Fucking 6 stars across the board. I loved it so much. Ilya and Shane are literally, I love them so much. I would die for them. I would do anything for these guys. And like, there's only 2 more episodes left of the show. We are getting a season 2, but yes, I love them so much. Highly recommend Heated Rivalry. It's the second one in the series, but you can read them on their own. They're interconnected standalones. And there's another Ilya and Shane book which I really want to read. It's painful, but it's beautiful, and it's raw and emotional, and love it. And I need to stop talking about it or I will cry. Number 4 is going to be Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. I have only read the first 2 books in this series, and it's literally now my favorite series, tied with Fourth Wing. So do with that information what you will, but I love this book. So the first book follows Magnolia and BJ, and this one follows Daisy and Christian, and there's also the POV of Daisy's brother Julian, who is one of my favorite book boyfriends ever, and he's not even the main character. I love them so much. Like, the fact that these aren't real people, that doesn't click in my head. Like, in my head they are real people. I think the writing is beautiful and it just speaks to me somehow, and the quotes, the characters, everything, I love it. It's painful, it's toxic, it's not gonna be for everyone. Like, if you don't like this series, I completely understand. It is for me, and I love it so much. If you can tell, 6 stars across the board. All of them from now on are I can't show you because I'm filming on my phone, but my phone background has been a quote, like a picture of a quote from this book, for literal months. Like, I think like 6 months. Which is insane. I used to change up my wallpaper so much, and now it's just been this one. Yeah, it's 6 stars. Next book I'm going to talk about, you have probably seen around because everyone has been reading it, but it is Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. Yeah, this is over 1,000 pages. It's a commitment, but 6 stars. So fantastic. So this book was originally a fan fiction called Manacled. It was a Draco and Hermione fan fiction. I also read that. You do not need to read it. I had it downloaded for years. So I wanted to read it because this was coming out. So I read it before this came out and then read this, and I can say this is better. This is so much better. This book is like pain in book form. I can't explain it otherwise. Like, I can't talk about it too much or I will cry. I did cry. Please check your trigger warnings if you want to read this because it's very heavy. There's a lot of triggers, like every single one you could ever think of. There's so many. But if you think you can do it, I would highly recommend it. It is so good. It's commentary on our current day world. It is about corruption, about war, about power, about the government keeping things. Like, I can't, these characters, I love them. You care for them so much. You feel their pain as if it's your own. It has 3 parts, present, past, how you got to the present, and back to the present. It is so good. Like, if you think you can read this, please do. I love it so much. It's so good. These characters will now live in my mind forever. 6 stars. One of my favorite books ever. God tier. Will think about this for the rest of my life, actually. My top 2 favorite book of this year is one you could probably guess by the previous book I've talked about, but it is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I've never cried so much than with these last 2 books I'm going to talk about. Actually, I cried, I think, like every chapter, which is insane. I annotated the heck out of this. I loved it so much. These characters are real to me. Like, this is the first one. I talked about Daisy as already, so I explained a little bit. This follows Magnolia and BJ. They are toxic, but they are actual soulmates. If you ask me the definition of soulmates, I would say Magnolia and BJ. I love them so much. I would die for them. I would do anything for them. And I just need to read you 2 quotes, even though there's so many more. There's so many quotes, like every line is a quote. Let me just read you these 2. The truth is, when you love someone how we were in love, it didn't matter what he'd do to me. He could have hit me with a bus. Kind of he did. I and Natalie still would have done everything I could to make him not feel what he was feeling. Problem with me and Parks is I think we love each other more than ourselves. Again, that sounds romantic, but it's not. Because if she loved herself more than she loves me, she'd have fucked up years ago. I don't deserve all the chances and she half tries to give me. And if I love myself more than I love her, I would have cut the ties between us as soon as she started to strangle me with them. If I loved me more, I would have let me drift away into the dark, out of the light, but I didn't, and I couldn't because I won't. I couldn't and I won't, because when it comes to her, I have zero instinct for self-preservation. I'll die in her arms or at her doorstep trying to get back into them. I don't give a fuck. 6 stars. One of my favorite books ever. My favorite book of the year, to no surprise to anyone, is Sonic Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I read this book, sobbing my eyes out every chapter. Months after, I cried just thinking about them. I cried over edits. They are my favorite book couple. I love them so much. I would die for them. This is his love letter to her. I can't even talk about this. This is my favorite book ever. If you didn't like Iron Flame, please read this one. It's so much better. Even though I really liked Iron Flame, it deserves all the hype it gets, y'all. I'm sorry, but it does. So those were my top 10 favorite books of this year. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me what your favorite books were of this year, and I will see you next time. Bye.